What's going on, guys? Paul Tech here again, and I got the LG K7 and the LG G Stylo comparison. Both phones being offered through Metro PCS. Let's talk about design. Both of these have a plastic design with signature back placement LG buttons there. You got speakers on the back left on both devices. Display is a 5.7 inch on the G Stylo and a 5-inch display on the LG K7 there. Great thing about both of these devices, they got the removable back. They both got expandable storage, with the LG K7 with a 2045 mAh battery and the G Stylo with a 2900 mAh battery. Now both of these do have a quad-core processor, a 1.2 GHz on the G Stylo and a 1.1 GHz quad-core processor on the LG K7. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the weather widget. Both of these devices have the exact same weather widget. They're pretty identical. And let's go ahead and kind of scroll around the screen here real quick, and let's go ahead and just kind of hold down on the home screen there. There you're presented with your apps, widgets, and wallpapers. Let's go ahead and take a look at the widgets that are pre-installed on both of these devices. They're both basically the same. You got basically the same widgets on both of these, and they're all pretty standard widgets. So let's go ahead and jump to wallpapers. So both of these have their own specific wallpapers for these phones. So I'll just kind of scroll around so you can kind of take a look at the different wallpapers that are offered with these devices here. So let's go ahead and exit out of there, and next we'll just kind of check out the phone dialer here. Phone dialer, they're both basically the same. I've made calls on both of these devices and they both work both very good. And let's jump to messaging. I always get this question asked on most phone reviews I do. Does the phone have emojis? If so, what kind of emojis? So here you go, the phone does have emojis. They both have a handful of emojis and they're all exactly the same. So I know that is important for a lot of people, so I just wanted to include that in the comparison here. So let's go ahead and just jump to the applications that are pre-installed, and if you click the upper right hand corner there, you do got options to either make these applications smaller, larger, hide them. You can edit these applications, you can put your own image on these applications as well. Metro PCS folder, it's fully customizable. You can change the name on it, you can change the color of the folder as well. And let's look at the Google folder, and basically the same. You got Hangouts, play games, Google Plus, and again you can edit those and change the folder color as well. So one thing that this LG K7 does have is LG Smart World, where you can edit the fonts, themes. It's kind of like a launcher, and you can just totally change the look of your K7. You can basically change the theme on your K7 there. So let's go ahead and jump to camera, because camera is very important for most of us. And what you do have is a 13 megapixel camera with LED flash on the G Stylo. On the K7 you got a 5 megapixel camera with LED flash as well. So you got similar settings here. LG Stylo can record in full HD, while the K7 can only record in HD. But like I said, you got cheese shutter, you got timer for your photos, and you can also just have kind of a clear canvas on your screen, and when you take pictures you can just tap on the screen to take photos as well. So both of those do offer those features, and as you can see from both phones here, the G Stylo is definitely going to have the better picture quality. As you can see from both photos there, the greens are more green. On the G Stylo, it's more clear. On the K7, it's a little more grainy. It's a little more washed out. It's a good camera. It's a good 5 megapixel camera on the K7, but the 13 megapixel camera on the G Stylo just really outperforms the K7's camera. So let's go ahead and move on here. The K7 also has this other file as well, where you can just have straight access to your battery, your storage, and it has that pre-installed. Now let's go ahead and pull down the toolbar, and we can take a look at these toggles that you have here. These toggles are basically the same, and you can control the brightness and volume, and you can kind of adjust those in settings. One thing that I did notice with the K7, it does have the toggle flashlight. I honestly couldn't find that on the G Stylo. At least mine didn't have the flashlight toggle there. Now both of these do have quick memo, so that's a nice feature as well. And let's go ahead and we'll move on to settings here. So as you take a look at settings, they're pretty identical. I mean, they look very much alike. There is going to be a little bit more features on the G Stylo when it comes to settings here. So G Stylo does have NFC, the K7 doesn't have NFC, but there is a lot of similarities between the two. For instance, like in lock screen, you can either show notifications or you can hide all notifications. You have that as well. The notification LED, the G Stylo has that, and the K7 has no notification LED. So you do got screen swipe effects, so you can have different effects to your screen there. So both of those have those as well. And you can change the font type, the font size. Both of those are able to be changed as well. So, you know, one thing I did notice on home button combination here, you can change those as well. And you can set those for your liking. But on the G Stylo, you can either have those buttons in white or black. And the K7 does not offer you that option. So let's go ahead and move on here. And both of these do offer the NOT code, and we can kind of check out storage here. 16 gigabytes on the G Stylo and 8 gigabytes on the K7. So both of these are running 5.1.1 Lollipop. Still no Marshmallow. I have no idea when we're going to get that Marshmallow update. Hopefully soon, but we still don't got it yet. So let's go ahead and move on and kind of see the similarities between the two here. Now, if you're going to Google something, both of these work really well. Of course, on the G Stylo, it works a little bit quicker. It does have a faster processor, but overall, they both do the same job. So let's go ahead and jump to maps. So if you're traveling on the road, I use both GPS, and they both work very well. There's no problems with either one of those, so both of them are going to perform perfect for you. Downloading games off the Play Store, it's going to be great. The G Stylo has a little bit better performance when it comes to games. It can handle those higher end games better than the K7, but K7 can definitely keep up with the G Stylo though. So let's go ahead and move on to YouTube, since a lot of us watch YouTube videos on our smartphone. Now the difference between these two is going to be 480p resolution is on the K7, which is a very nice, might be the best 480p I've seen on a smartphone. But on the G Stylo, you're getting 720p resolution. So you get the bigger screen real estate on the G Stylo, and you're going to see a real difference is when you watch YouTube videos on 720p at 60 frames per second. So, you know, just keep that in mind if you are a big YouTube watcher. Definitely more enjoyable on the G Stylo, but the K7, a very nice screen as well. Now, dual window. You have dual window on the LG G Stylo, and the K7 doesn't. Now I did run some benchmark tests on both devices here. So Geekbench 3 scored a 477 single score for the G Stylo, 302 K7, 1430 multi-score in the G Stylo, and 1015 multi-score in the K7 as well. And I did run another test with Antutu benchmark, 20,502 for the K7 and 27,710 for the G Stylo. So there is a difference there. Now the one thing the LG G Stylo has going for it is the Stylus. So the Stylus comes in very handy for jotting down notes, playing games, so it's a very useful item with the G Stylo. So I think both of these devices are very nice. I love the design of the K7. I love how it's just a good one-handed operation device, and overall it's just a really good and budget-friendly price device. On the other hand, the G Stylo definitely has more features. I like the features that the G Stylo has. I do like the size of it and the 720p resolution. So, you know, if you have more to spend, go with the G Stylo. If you're more on a budget, K7. Well, that's the comparison. Thanks for watching. Hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe for more future videos.